welcome. Welcome, everybody. This is the CyphaDen chat. I'm your host, Tayamu Denku. That's my homie, Pestilence. And tonight, special guest, the one and the only actress, Finn Carter, in the building. What's going on, Finn? How you doing?
Yo. I don't know what's going on. As I said, that I seem really out of my element being on this particular podcast, but I'm very flattered that you invited me.
It's gonna work. It's gonna work out.
Hell
Because
yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Tremors.
I can't remember the name.
It's a cult classic. I've showed my daughters this movie. I've told people about it, and but you've done a lot of things. I didn't realize that you started out actually in. Is this for real? Like I was looking on the IMDb
Right.
as the world turns. Is that where
Yeah.
you started?
Well, I mean, it's where I started sort of professionally in a major city. I was doing theater in college and in New Orleans, that's where I got my equity card or whatever, to be in the theater. But yeah, so my first big job on screen was As the World Turns. And I was a contract player for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because I remember that show way back, growing
You
up
can't.
around it.
You weren't even born yet.
I was born. I was around.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure they showed reruns.
Yeah, was that you can find. Yeah. Yeah. So I started out in the soap opera, and it was a great training ground for like a lot of stuff. Like I'd never worked in front of a camera before. I didn't, know all that stuff. Like, but it's different. I mean, for a soap opera, the cameras, it's four cameras, like you're on a stage, like a theater, like a proscenium stage, right? So you got four cameras facing at you. Whereas in film, they come in for close-ups, they're below you, they're above you, they got crane shots, but everything's its own, thing. So that was a good experience because I learned a lot. I never really saw myself doing that, but it just happened to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then you did a bunch of other television shows, and then
Yeah, I did like nine pilots. If people who don't know, a pilot is when there's a piece, a half hour or an hour piece, and you shoot it with the prospect and the hope that it'll go in the air. And this is back when networks were
hmm,
running everything. So I did about 9 or 10 of those, along with all the other stuff. You know,
yeah.
like
Were
every
there any
show
of
that
those
you see on
pilots that
television.
you
What?
were there any of those pilots that you thought would like had a good chance, or were they all kind of
Yeah.
just you do
No,
it and
no.
hope?
There were two. There were two that I was like, yes, this should go. One was called Ice, and it was just a magical piece that took place in like Antarctica or somewhere, one of the poles, and we had um, what are they called? We had penguins. We had and Michael Jeter, the actor, who he's not around anymore, but who else was in it? I can't remember now. Maybe Judy Greer was in that. I did something with Judy Greer. But anyway, it was absolutely fabulous. And when it didn't get picked up, I was in shock. And then I did another one called Secret Service Guy. And it was starring Michael McKean. And I don't know if you know his name, but you definitely know his work. Michael McKean was in Spinal Tap. He was in Laverne and
Yeah,
Shirley with Squiggy and whatever. He was in Better Call Saul or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yep.
he's been in everything. He's just a great, great comedic actor. So it was with him, Judge Reinhold, who had been in before that what? Oh, the silly police thing. Beverly Hills Cops?
Police
No.
Academy?
Oh my God, where's my brain? Well, anyway, Judge Reinhold. And anyway, it was the three of us were the leads, and we were playing Secret Service agents protecting the president and stuff, and I really had hopes for it, but and we did shoot 7 episodes that went on the air, but it ended up failing. didn't go any farther. Meanwhile, I did a bunch of other TV and a bunch of other theater and stuff like that over the years.
Over the years,
Yes.
do you have a favorite thing that you did that you were a part of?
Okay, well, it's sort of this is a hard question only because they're different genres, right? So, Tremors, my absolute all-time favorite on-screen project I ever worked on. It was fun. Everyone was like, it was all for one, one for all.
Yeah.
It was such a low budget, and we were out in the desert, and we spent 3 months out there, and it was just cool. It was really cool, and I just fell in love with everyone, and there was no friction. There didn't seem to be anyway any ego and any of that stuff. It was just we were just making this funny movie, this weird movie, and people were working their butts off, and so I spent 3 months in the desert and had the best experience of my life. So it, like really hardens me. I mean, it makes me happy that it's still around. People still want to see it because it. I mean, Tremors one. The other six I don't know about, but that's my favorite project ever on film.
Yeah, I love that movie. And so I guess you said you don't know about the other six. So I'm wondering, do you think when a franchise
Becomes a
goes
franchise.
become like does that? Like do you I mean how do you feel about that? Because there's like other ones like oh God. I mean, me and Pestilence have had these conversations. Like, what's that one Pestilence that has like tons of different ones? Like,
I mean,
Well, Tremors. There's seven of them.
well, oh, we're talking about oh man, I spit on your
I
grave
Spit
has
on Your
like
Grave.
so
That has like
many
so many movies. Like,
for
and there's
such
like
an
part one,
obscure
part
and like
two, and
dark plot. Yeah, there's a
Really?
lot
Because
of
I
them.
never even saw that. But if you're saying there was
Yeah,
one called "I Spit on Your Grave," and then there were subsequent
there's at least
films,
5 or 6 maybe of them. There's a
yeah.
lot of them, and it's a very dark kind of sketchy topic matter
But
because it's like
did it hold
sexual
up? Or
assault.
did it like? Did
Well, I mean, it's a very obscure fan base that would be into the movie to begin with, so it
okay? Say
wasn't
the name
like
again because I'm gonna look it up when I
it's
end.
called I Spit on Your Grave, and it was
What does that mean?
originally done maybe in the 70s. It was an older movie, but
Oh,
I think they
really?
recently did one as recently as maybe in the 2020s.
Oh, this is definitely like a sleeper kind of thing. Like, I mean, I have never heard of it.
hmm.
Yeah, we're into very I mean obviously I'm into the
Well,
obscure, he's into the obscure. We
ano-
like a lot of
I mean, another example
properties
would be
like
like
that.
Scream. I mean, what are we on?
Scream, yeah.
Scream, like
It's
Scream
Scream,
7?
and
There's
then
going to be a
yeah,
new scary movie.
the new scary movie. Yeah, I mean, I have my opinion about doing sequels and all that stuff, which really doesn't matter. My opinion. Uh, I've
Well,
never been one
I'm
who
curious. I'm curious.
what.
I'm curious of it.
Well, no, so when they were going to do Tremors 2, um, they asked me, and I think they asked Kevin if we'd like to be in the next one, and he said no, which basically meant I said no, because what's the point? Like, why would I go back, right? And so then Michael Gross just took this Tremors and he ran with it. He's kept this thing alive for 35 years, and good for him. But I've never been a big fan of sequels and that continuation. I mean, it's different if it's something that's streaming and it's a series, but for film, I'm not a big fan of that because here's the truth, my truth. So, Tremors was this perfect the perfect storm of the right actors, the right crew, the right director, the cinematographer. Alexander Krasinski was out of this world, crazy, insanely talented. You know, used almost no fake lighting. It was almost entirely shot with ambient light, right? And he made it look, I mean, obscenely gorgeous, right? I mean, I tell people my makeup consisted of a sock filled with sand from the desert. The makeup artist in the morning would just hit me in the face with it. And Alexander still made me look good. Um, it, what was I saying? I wouldn't have wanted to do another Tremors. The one I did was perfect. It was a perfect experience. I'm glad that I was in that one. Now I hear that they're talking about doing a reboot because the creator, the writers, director have now finally gotten the rights back to their property. Universal held on to it for 35 years and wouldn't give it to them, so they just got it back. And so I'm hoping that they'll do a sort of reunion movie. Now, that would be fun because that wouldn't be a sequel. It'd just be a kind of, you know, I don't know.
Well, it will be.
It would be
Revival in a way.
a reboot. It's all, just
Yeah.
a,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if I answered your question or not, but I would love to. I would love to get together again with. I mean, Fred. Unfortunately, Fred Ward is not alive anymore. A couple of the characters aren't living anymore, but
Yeah.
but Kevin, Michael, Reba McEntire. I mean, Michael Gross, um, Robert Jacoby. Excuse me, Bobby Jacoby, who now goes by Robert James. Anyway, he's still around. Ariana's still around. Charlotte's still around. So a lot of a lot of the cast is still could show up.
Yeah.
I would
Did you
love
guys?
Yeah.
that.
Did you guys ever do like a um? You know, how, like nowadays they do like all these panels for like cult classics and stuff. Did you do like a? Did you and any of the cast ever get together and do like a panel for Tremors, like at the 25-year anniversary
Yeah,
or whatever?
well, at the 28th we did in Kentucky, and then recently, many of us, many, were in Pasadena about maybe 6 months ago, 5 months ago, for the 35th, and we did a panel then. It was fun, and I've done panels at different venues in the past few months, but alone, you know.
Yeah.
It's really fun though to have more of the crew and the cast together
Hmm.
talking about it because this is all pre CGI. This is all, I mean, this was mechanical. These monsters were real, and stuff. So it's really great to hear from them, and how they developed them and what they did. And hopefully, I mean, I think that in the next few months we're going to be doing something. I'm not sure what, you know, for this anniversary. I mean, because it's crazy, like people come up and say, like, my grandfather showed it to my father, who showed it to me, and now I'm showing my son, like that's really heartwarming and cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's the only project I've worked on that got that kind of response, that's lived and lived because we did badly in the box office, right? But your generation and generations after and before have kept this movie going and going and going.
Well, it's like it's yeah, it's one of those cult classics. I mean, it's just like it. You know what? It kind of reminds me of like that movie Maximum Overdrive is a cult classic to people, right?
Right.
And Emilio Estevez hates that movie. Like he
Mm.
hates it, but it's still a cult classic. You know what I'm
No,
saying? Like it's
yeah. So oddly enough, Kevin, other than trying to do his TV show, really distanced himself from Tremors. He never talked about it, sort of wanted to deny that he was ever in it. But he's come around recently. In fact, he recently released a video saying it was his favorite movie and all this stuff. But originally, he was just said, it was just his job because my career is like not going so well. I'll do it, right? And I was a young, struggling actress who said, okay, underground worms, I'm a seismologist. Okay, I'll do it. I was like, I would, But yeah, Kevin, I don't think Kevin appreciated it at all until recently when he really saw like, and back to really quickly, like this past weekend, being in Portland, Maine, where my daughters live. So they asked me to come there to see the screening. There's like 60 people in a small theater. And it was my first time to experience it as an audience member and how people react to it. And people laughing, 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 and then jumping, and all this shit, like I didn't know it had that effect, I had no idea.
yeah. Did you have lobster when you were in Portland, Maine? I always get lobster when I'm there.
I love lobster. Where are you guys out of? I don't even know.
So I'm
Wisconsin.
Milwaukee. Yeah, I'm in Milwaukee and Pestilence is in Green Bay.
Oh, actually, you did tell me
Yeah.
that.
And you said you've never been here.
I've never been to Milwaukee. I've never been to Green Bay. But go Packers. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
from Mississippi. But anyway, so what else do you want to know?
I mean, well, I mean, there's pestilence. You got something?
Yeah, so first of all, I wanted to mention that oddly enough, so me and Denku took a tour last October, so it was Halloween time, and every night when we would get back to the hotels, we would throw on sci-fi or some kind of horror movie channel, and they would be playing all of these older horror movies. And Denku would maybe watch about 15 minutes of them, and he is like I've never seen anybody close their eyes and be sleeping faster than him. He's like immediately
What,
asleep,
Tremors
full
did that
deep
to
sleep.
you?
No, any movie. It didn't matter what the movie was. He would just
Okay.
decide to go to sleep. I'm a night owl, so I would sit and watch all these movies. And I remember maybe about the third or fourth night, Tremors was on, and I watched it again, and I watched all these, kind of old movies that maybe
Right.
when they were originally released didn't get a lot of appreciation, but now that we've seen the development of where film's gone and all that stuff, you kind of gain an appreciation for
Yeah.
the artistry and the effort that goes into something like that that had practical effects and it had so many
Yeah.
hands on deck and not a lot of money behind it. So it's like that to
Yeah.
me is
We were low
something
budget.
that in hindsight you grow such an appreciation for how incredible of a story you're able to tell and how captivating of something you're able to put on screen with as little as you had to put into it. And that's
Yeah.
like that to me is very special. And I mean, that's existed as long as arts existed. There were painters that would draw the most magnificent things that didn't get acclaim until after death, or,
Right.
Edgar Allan
Like,
Poe,
yeah, I
all
kind
these
of feel like this
people.
is our Van Gogh, like
Yeah,
there's
well, it's
like,
cool to see that we live in a time where information spreads fast enough that these people don't like, you're still here to get to see all these generations get to appreciate this piece of art instead of this happening years and years after, all of you have passed, where finally people appreciate, wow,
yeah.
these people came together and really like did something very, very cool. And
I
it's
really
even cooler
appreciate
that
what you're
that was your
saying.
favorite.
Go
It's
ahead.
even cooler that it was your favorite film to
Job.
do. Like that's really special. Like that's like for that all to be a thing. I think that I mean it kind of shows in the movie. I mean everybody being bought in, especially with it being in that realm of like low budget, weird out there plot. Everybody took it
Right.
very seriously, and I think that's what gives it the staying power. Is it's
Well, I
not
think so
like
too.
wow, there's a bunch of bad acting. It's good.
Right, it's funny, and I've told this story probably far too many times, but I was doing a play at the Old Globe Theater in San Diego, California, and the theater was dark on Mondays, right? So I would go up to LA. My agents would have me come up and audition for different things every Monday. So I'd take the train either Sunday night or Monday morning and go audition for things. They'd send me a script, a variety of things, TV shows, whatever. And I get the script for this movie. It's about these underground monsters. And I'm turning to my very serious theater cast, and we're doing this play that was headed for Broadway, right? It was with one of the preeminent playwrights, um, and an amazing artistic director. Anyway, so we're doing this week after week, and so I get this script, and I turn to my cast. I go, okay, because they're like, "What you got tomorrow, Finn?" Underground worms. I'm a seismologist, right? And I'm like being so sarcastic about it because I just think it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever read. But if my opinion is, and it's always been, if I'm going to audition for it, I'm going to take it seriously, right? So I'm studying all night about seismology, whatever, trying to understand Richter scales and what all these words mean, the alluvial folds and, the residual boulders and stuff. So I went in for the audition, but really I went in kind of tongue in cheek, like, okay, I'll audition for this because what I got today. And then I got a call back, and that's when I get serious. I'm like really serious. So I hired a seismologist, a doctor, a person who worked in the field of seismology to teach me about seismology. So I didn't really understand the script. Like I didn't get it, like I didn't get it. I didn't get the humor. I didn't get anything. I just knew that I was a seismologist. So so I worked with a guy. He brought a Richter scale for me to work with everything. So the whole week while I'm doing the play in San Diego, on my a downtime, I'm working with this doctor or PhD, whatever he was in seismology, who's teaching me all week about what these words mean and what this these kind of fields and whatever. And so I go to my callback, and I'm like climbing on the table and stuff, like pretending like I'm looking at the monster, and I'm like reading things, and I took it so freaking seriously, not knowing there was humor in it, right? I mean, I just thought I'm a seismologist. Bad stuff's happening, right? So they tell the story all the time about before they were like, we can't remember who it was, but one of the actors climbed on the table and then went under the table and whatever. And it was I was the one who was just acting up a storm, taking my character so seriously. But I do think that's why it kind of worked, because I maintained that for the whole movie and really didn't get the humor. I mean, I didn't get it. So I was kind of the real, like, honest straight man, like,
Yeah.
you know, I, I mean, I felt like I should know these things, and I did come up with a lot of answers, by the way. The character did. I mean,
No, that's really really cool, and I can appreciate that as an artist. That's something that I've always liked to do. Since I've gotten into making music, just learning more is just been the
yeah,
most
and also,
enjoyable
if
thing.
you don't
Like it's
comment
just
on it, like, I think that's why it worked for me. Is the only time when I've done theater and stuff, if I'm aware that something's supposed to be funny, I will inevitably not be funny. But if I don't comment on the character, if I don't know, if I just am that, being that person or whatever, I don't mean method, whatever. I just meant, believing in that character. It comes across better, I think. And I'm sure
yeah,
it's the same with music. I mean, if you try to sort of be cheeky about stuff, it's disingenuous, I think.
absolutely. Being real is very important. One thing I'm curious about, being that you said that you started out in theater, and it sounds like you did a lot of that. So you've done theater, you've done stuff for pilots, you've done movies.
I did some
What
TV
of those
shows.
ex So
Yeah,
yeah, so of all those things, what has been your favorite experience of those things? Which of those
is my
parts
favorite.
did you like doing? Yeah, what's that? What was
Okay,
your favorite of those?
so I can tell you that, without question, being on the stage is my favorite, because
I
I just
agree.
I
That's what I
love it.
thought
I
you were
love
gonna
the
say.
interaction between the audience and me. Like, there's a give and a take when you're on stage, right? And
There's an
but
energy.
this is why last week in Portland was such an incredible experience for me, because I was in the audience in a very small space, and it was the first time I saw the interaction between film and the audience, right?
That's
But
very
as
cool.
the actor, once you've cut, I mean, once it's to the can, you don't. Didn't get to have that experience. So last week was a really big, was a really moving experience for me, because uh, it was as if I were on stage as opposed to being celluloid, right? So I would say that theater is my first love and will always be. And I never ever expected to be in front of a camera. I didn't want to. I hated it. I didn't like looking at myself, because like when you're on stage, I mean, look, you've got a mask on, right? When in
Hmm.
theater, when you study theater, you do mask work. You can be anything you want to be on stage.
It's fantastic.
It's the best. I mean, if the script says she's the most beautiful woman in the world, then I am the most beautiful woman in the world. If she's the
Yep.
ugliest, most deformed woman, then I am the ugliest, most deformed. Whatever. Um,
Yeah.
and in film, that's not the case. It's so collaborative, and you're not getting feedback from your audience.
Yeah,
But
you
that,
don't
but
get to see
that's
what
why
works
seeing it
and what doesn't.
recently was so cool. Anyway, so I love the theater. That's my first love. I mean,
Yeah,
you
I think
guys are
we'd both agree
performers.
too. I
What?
think we'd both agree. I mean, we both release a lot of music. We do the music videos, obviously we do this podcast, but we perform a lot too. And I believe Denku is also the same way, that that's far and away the most fun that we
And
have
most
doing this is
fulfilling,
being
right?
live.
Because
Most fulfilling,
there's
the
the
energy and
exchange.
the
Yeah.
yeah,
When I did perform on stage, there was always an interaction between me and the audience. And you can feel when I could feel when, whoa, whoa, they're not with me, or whoa, whoa, like, or whatever. There's that give and take.
Well, you
Um,
actively level up faster because you get to see in real time what's working, what's not
what's not?
working,
Yeah.
what things you kind of just naturally fall into a rhythm and start finding your way. If you do it authentically and you be yourself and you just really apply that passion, it really does breathe through and it pays you back tenfold. And it's
Yeah,
just
I agree. I agree. And I must say though, there are some amazing, and as you know, film actors. I'm not one of them, but those who understand how to work with the camera and how to play it and stuff. I'm sure they have that kind of experience you're talking about, but I never did in front of a camera. I remember I once did a guest spot on Chicago Hope, I think it was called, or ER, well, one of them. Anyway, and Isabella Rossellini was I was playing opposite, and uh, and she just knew what her relationship with the camera was, right? And I'm working with her, and I'm thinking, man, she's famous and she's beautiful, but she can't act, right? This is what I'm thinking. Because I'm like talking to her in the scene and getting nothing back, but she's going whatever, right? So the episode comes out, and she's stunning. She kills it. I mean, she just knew exactly what she was doing with the camera, and it's something I never really learned. I never really. Well, I didn't have her face either, but she would just tilt. She didn't say much. She didn't really do much. She knew the camera was going to find her and get that emotion or whatever.
Mm.
So
yeah.
it. I have great appreciation for people who can do that. But I'm not one of them, though. You know.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how many different layers. I think a lot of people that just watch movie, much like people that just listen to music, don't understand how much goes into everything they see or hear behind the scenes. Like
Yeah.
from each moving part, everybody brings something else to the
Everybody.
table and everybody approaches it in a different way. Another thing I'm curious about, because we've had other actors on the show before, um, and I always like to know, was there a moment when you were going through your career of like between theater and then film and all that kind of stuff where you ever had that moment where you're like, holy crap, like I'm here, I'm around people I never would have expected. I'm seeing and experiencing things I never would have expected. Was there ever a moment like that
That's
for
a
you?
great question because, but my answer is a very sad one. I just had so much self doubt, when I was younger, and I never appreciated in the moment what was happening. And I look back now, and I just think I really wish I'd given myself that grace, that understanding of, whoa, you're like one in a million people who get to be here today. You are with so and so, or you're meeting with, and stuff. And I didn't. This feels so confessional, but I just didn't have the self esteem to understand like how precious that was. I look back now and I think, oh my God, I mean, people would kill. I mean, and I was just kind of a, what we'd call a middle class actress, right? At one point, I think I was on the A list for like 2 weeks, and I blew it. But anyway, but but I was a working actress, uh, which is a damn good thing to be, right? Make a living as
Yeah.
an actress, and I just didn't. I think I'm answering your question. I'm not sure, but
No, you absolutely are. And I appreciate the realness because I think it applies a lot more to when people listen to this. It's not like a fake response. It's very real because I mean, it's a very real emotion. Everybody goes through things differently. And I think a lot of people experience that
yeah,
self-doubt when they're,
mine
going
was
amongst the
horrible.
ladder.
Mine was debilitating, and I remember the directors and producers of Tremors even saying, "Finn, you got to believe us." Because I was so hard on myself, but particularly though, I also didn't take advantage of situations that I was so fortunate to have. Like I didn't get it. I didn't get it that like, and I don't care what anyone says, and they poo-poo soap operas, but getting to be on a soap opera at the age that I was, as a learning territory, like a ground. Um, I wish I'd known. I wish I'd known to take advantage of that. To like study the camera shots, understand the angles, understand the lighting, understand, what is being seen, what is camera capturing, right? Years later, I did a TV movie with Stanley Tucci, and I loved this role. It was called Life Stories. And it was every week it was a different disease, right? And I threw myself into this role, and Stanley's helping me. Do you know who Stanley Tucci is?
Yeah.
He's an actor, and he's been in a lot of stuff. Anyway, he's a really good actor. But and he's helping me and stuff. But what I didn't know was the camera wasn't getting what I was doing. The shot wasn't, if I'd paid more attention in my soap years, if I'd just taken advantage of the gifts that I was given. Uh, well, not big regrets, but it's a regret, you know. So
Well, at least
you
now
young
being
men,
at
while you're
this.
starting out in your careers, listen to me.
No, I mean, that's awesome though that you're at a point now where you can reflect about that and be honest about it because I do think that helps everybody that's in, I mean, even our positions where it's a different craft. It makes people
Yeah,
step back and apply that to their own selves and think, am I selling myself short or am I getting in
yeah.
my own way
Hey,
in
are you
ways that
getting
I
in your own
shouldn't?
way? You know what? Just don't question. Here's my advice to the world of artists. Don't question. Just keep going.
Yep.
Just keep going. I would beat myself up so much. If I could talk to the younger me, I'd be like, Finn, you idiot. Pay attention. This is going well. Okay. Are we gonna put my rap song to a beat or what?
She requested to do the raps,
Okay,
Pestilence. You
no,
ain't
no,
about
okay,
to
here's the
That's
ask?
deal.
fantastic.
Listen. Okay, here's how it goes. So my daughter was talking to a friend of hers in New York who's a really accomplished musician or whatever. And he sort of offhandedly said to her, like, hey, you got any rap songs or whatever? And she said that to me. I said, oh, I'll write you one. So I wrote the first verse, but I don't know how to rap, right? So I figure you guys can take it. I mean, if I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you for free. It's so bad. Boy, see, now I have to find it. Is this going to mess up if I go to my messages?
Uh,
It shouldn't. It might cut
I
your
may
camera out
disappear,
for a
right?
second if it does.
Okay,
You might disappear, but you'll still be here voice
okay, but
wise. We'll still be able
do
to
you
hear
have your
you.
board in front of you or something? Can you make a beat?
I don't have a board plugged in. Denku might have a beat he can play.
Okay, hold on a second.
uh,
Let me see if I can find it real quickly. Okay, hold on. Are you still there?
yep.
Yeah, we're still here.
Okay, but you can't see me, right?
We can't see you right now, no.
Okay, right. So I now have to like dig for this. Give
No,
me
you're
one.
all
I
good. I
should have
mean,
had it
and
ready for you.
honestly,
What?
there's an appreciation for this because we've had people of all different types of art form, whether they're musicians like us or they're fighters or they're actors,
You mean like
actresses, all that kind
WWE
of
kind
different
of
stuff.
fighters?
We've had a
Don't.
lot of bare knuckle boxers.
Oh,
We've had
really?
UFC fighters on. Yeah, we've had a lot of
Yeah.
people like that. But we always ask if people will spit some rhymes at the end because it's something that I just believe in the culture and that everybody can participate, whatever level they're at. You don't have to be a
Yeah, no,
superstar or
exactly. No, I totally okay.
it's just fun and it's such
So
a fun thing. And the ironic thing is that most of the time, the people that refuse to do it are the people that do this in their,
as
as
a
a
living.
passion. Yes, and it's very astounding to me that they would, deny that opportunity. Because to me, it's like any opportunity I have to do what I love, I'm going to take it.
Oh hell yeah!
And
But right,
it's
but
cool to
also
see the attitude of actors being very much, and I think it might be inhibitive of your craft, in which you guys have to audition for so many things, and it is such a
you have to
hard
really think
grind
on your
of like
feet, you know. Like,
and you're always, you're so used to putting yourself out there in a way that a lot of, I think, musicians never get to that point where they put themselves out there because they're so afraid of, the response being negative or people thinking X, Y, or Z about them. And I think that the best advice I give to anybody is be yourself and don't care how, just do it for you. Don't do it for
no, I know.
anybody but you,
Well, I gotta tell
and
you,
have
my
fun.
my my daughters would not like that because like I think they're constantly cringing at me. But
They'll appreciate it when they get
but listen,
older.
but wait, excuse me, pestilence, whatever your name is. I wholeheartedly agree with you, wholeheartedly, and think that what have you got to lose, man? Just throw yourself in there. Just throw yourself
Right.
in there. you've gotten, and again, I have the perspective of age, right? Because I'm older. So, and I look back and think, oh, why did I get my way there? Like, why did I stop myself from that? Like, what, you know, I'm sorry, I'm scrolling while I'm talking to you.
You're good.
Um, but yeah, because there's no reason why you shouldn't try anything. I mean, you should try everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I guess at
agree.
some point, you've got a career and you want to protect some image, but I think that's really stifling. You know what I mean? Like when people sort of find their niche and then they are scared to get out of it.
Yeah, I mean and possibly for me, I mean and I won't go into super detail, but I mean I'm 31 and I grew up with a lot of like debilitating health issues where I'm lucky to be here now and I'm in a good
Okay, well,
place
God
now,
bless.
but
But what,
it
physical health
it
issues?
physical health issues,
Yeah.
yeah. I have Crohn's disease and I had a lot of complications growing up, but it kind of gave me the perspective of going through things that were very embarrassing at a young age and then realizing that the only consequence was my own ego. It kind of made me realize like you have
And like
nothing to
having to wear a
lose.
catheter or something and like
Yeah, I've had to do
shit
all
like
of that
that.
stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like, I'm like, life's too short to care about how other people are going to judge me. I just want to have fun and be happy and enjoy things and experience new things and do what I love. So,
Yeah. I mean, I tell
um,
you, the only thing I've noticed is the people who are the most critical of me are the ones who are the ones to call me out on, did you see what Finn did? Or she was doing that. That's on them.
agreed.
Hmm.
I mean,
And they're usually
100%.
unhappy and they're usually very
Yeah.
not happy with themselves.
Yeah. Someone said something really mean to me a couple weeks ago, and I was crying. It was someone close to me, and I was crying, and I was really hurt, 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 hurt. And I thought, oh my God, this has nothing to do with me. It has absolutely nothing to do with me. That's their pain talking,
Yep.
right? I
Yeah.
mean, I hadn't, I, oh shoot, please, if I don't find this darn thing, hold on. I usually cuss. I'm trying not to. All right.
Oh,
Oh,
you're more than free to say whatever you want to
Yeah, I
say
mean
on this
it's
podcast.
it's not, I mean, we're not edited. I mean,
okay, you can edit that out. I mean, if I said darn, but I would have said damn. Hold on, let's see. Where the heck is my, okay, what year are we in? Basically, no, no, I wrote it in the fall of 24. Hold on. Okay, this is going to be like dead air time for you, but you're editing, so it doesn't matter, right?
yeah, I mean, I could.
Well, we're fine, and I mean, and hearing you, I mean, just having the conversation. That's the thing is we don't take ourselves so seriously in terms of this either. It's just a very natural conversation, and from what I've gained and why we keep it this way is that we get a much more genuine, um, kind of peek behind who you are or whoever we have on the show is, and I enjoy that more as an interviewer and as a listener when you actually get to kind of see the person behind the art. I mean, not that it's not cool to learn about all the technical stuff, but it feels like that's what a lot of people do. So getting to hear the more human side and getting to hear who you are as a person is
Oh, well,
far more
I got
valuable to
some
me.
down and dirty stories I can tell you, but I don't think you want to know them. Okay, hey, wait a second. How can I look something up? Like if I want to look up words that are like the first two.
Do you
If
remember?
you're on a
Words.
computer and you click
No, I'm on
on
my phone. Because
you're on your
so if I'm on
phone.
the phone, where can I search to try? I could wait a second. I want to search in oh man, I should have pulled this up before I got on the phone with you.
If
Okay.
it's in your notes,
I thought it was, but I couldn't write
if
the
you
first
type in
couple
the
words.
top, yep, the first couple words, it'll narrow down notes that have those words in them.
Okay, I think it started Karen Noob Chugi. Right. Shit. Okay, here, try this. Okay. Wait. Chugi. Okay, I took out Karen. Yeah, I didn't put Karen. Okay, maybe I didn't put it in notes. Okay, so if I wanted to search for it in my text with a specific person, Can I go to that person and like go to
Yeah, there should be a search bar near the top if you go into a
here, let me
particular
go try
person.
this. Okay, let's see. No, I'm an iPhone. What are you?
I have an Android.
Yeah, I'm an Android too.
Okay. Damn it. Wait a second. Wait, I'm not gonna let you hang up until I find this damn thing.
But iPhones as well, if you go into your messages, on the top of your
Yeah,
messages, there
search,
is
search,
a
search, search.
search bar.
Okay,
If you
okay,
start typing in the
okay,
words, it should bring up messages that have those words as well.
okay. Chugi. Cheugy. Okay, that's not coming up.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, wait. No, can I put some other? Here we go. I found it.
Oh snap!
Okay, you ready? Snap. All right. Okay,
Yes.
okay, here are the lyrics. I don't know how to do rap or anything, so I'm just gonna read you the lyrics. This ex-boyfriend friend of hers wanted her to write a rap song, and she didn't know how. I said, "Well, I can write one." She said, "No, you can't. You don't even know anything." And so this is what I wrote. Ready? Now you guys are gonna put the rest of the words to it because it's only one stanza or whatever.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Well, give me a beat or something. Like I don't even know how to do it.
I
Uh,
Danko beatbox.
You can't hear it through the pod. I don't think.
I can't.
No.
Like, can you hear the? Can you hear that?
If you do that, if you just do that,
Little.
I could. Would you just
Yeah.
give me the rhythm of speech of like hip hop or rap? Like
Well, I mean, it's kind
okay,
of.
here are the lyrics. Ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, then you do them. All right, you write these down. Ready? Karen noob boomer, thinking she's fire. CEO of cringe. I'm needing to yesify her. Thirsty as fuck. That Chugi don't slay. That noob is big yikes, and I'm gonna say ghosted. She ain't lit, no Gucci, no Riz. Well, I'm snatched and sick. She's salty all day. She's salty all day. Yeets.
Yeah.
That was on kind
That
of
was on beat.
a
Yeah,
roller
that was you
coaster
had a
rhythm.
rhythm.
Actually, it
I mean, the
was.
thing is, if you as long as you kind of read it like a poetry, if you know how to read, I mean, you read scripts, so you
Right.
clearly know how to read to a
I know
a
I don't know the
regular
right rhythm
pace.
because I
It
love
seemed like you had it. You
I,
enunciated the right words. You enunciated the words that rhymed.
Yeah,
That's what you do.
you
That's
did.
all you do.
okay, so yeah, you gotta finish my song for me now. That's all I got. I was basically describing myself, right? Because that daughter was talking about this, and I was thinking about me as this old like Karen new boomer thinking she's fire. CEO of cringe. I'm needing the yesifier, you know?
No, that's fun though. I mean, that's I mean, when we were on the tour last year, a big part of what Denku does, and one of the things that makes him special as a performer, is he's known as one of the premier freestylers in hip
Yeah.
hop, which means he'll come up with words on the fly. He'll take objects from the crowd, words from the crowd, all that kind of stuff at a
And
very
just
high
do it.
level, and just
What
do it
Yep.
and very, very well. Or they'll put beats on, and
you are. Yeah.
he'll just freestyle. And when we went on that tour, that was when I first started freestyling
Freestyling?
because I figured I'm with him. This is the best possible person to learn with. It's like going to learn karate with
Okay,
Mr.
so freestyle.
Miyagi.
Let's freestyle now. Listen, so I was homeless for like 9 months, about 5.5 years ago in Las Vegas, and I was sitting at this bus stop, right? That was a backstory, but anyway, I'm sitting at this bus stop, and this dude's like sitting there, and he's like talking to himself and doing stuff. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm practicing my freestyling, right?" And I said, "I want freestyle." So he said, "Okay, come on, right?" And he said, "Just tell your story." I'm like, white woman in Las Vegas, sitting here poor, I'm in big trouble. He's like, yeah, yeah, something like that. But I mean, he was like really like he had it, he could just pull the words. Um, I'm really impressed with that kind of poetry.
Yeah,
Really impressed.
it's a different kind of muscle that you use in your brain than
Yeah,
you're using when you're
but I mean,
writing,
we're talking about thinking on your feet. I mean, that's like crazy.
It's very conversational, you just think of, it's just like you're having this kind of talk when you're talking to somebody right
But
now,
like,
but instead of
if you're riffing or like freestyling with someone, do you do it back and forth? Is that what you do?
Sometimes, I mean,
Yeah, you
we'll
can.
go back and forth. We'll do things, like, I could say, pesto on his porch with a bag of unate food. I'm about to light this cigarette and then pass the mic to Denku. And then he could say something,
Okay, say something, Danku.
you'll,
Uh,
You still
Tremor run.
smoking that shit? What did you say?
Tremor under the ground making people's feet quake, but you ain't talking to Finn Carter because she's changing up the whole dialect to dilate. My words, I is Iris. I put you past the virus and security, a giant worm, but the worm's not called Linus. My science is scientific. I leave you past the apron and we kick you past a movie that he used to not like Kevin Bacon. But I tremor that and put it to the first forward or whatever. Speak it to the wordplay and accent, something more clever, but I measure and put you backwards on the wood grain table and leave your brain scrabble before anybody can enable. We're not talking Las Vegas bus stops. We talking in new states and stasis is something that could leave you hopscotch over your own fate. Never fake.
Oh, that was kind of moving, man.
Well, thank you.
yeah, he is
That was like
definitely something
moving.
else.
You took in all that shit. Like you didn't miss anything, did you? You've been listening.
Oh yeah, I've been
Yes.
listening.
Yeah,
And
that
that's,
was
I mean, that's another thing that, like, you see if you ever see him perform, he does that with taking words, and he'll take some. I mean, I think I've seen him do 20 words at a time, where he'll take 20 different words from the crowd, and then he'll rap a verse using
oh, you
all
do
of those
that like those
words
guys.
in the order, and then he'll put a beat on and do them in reverse, and it's just,
Okay, give me five words. Let's see what I come up with.
Um, pen, can, fork, ticket, and coaster.
Thing is, I don't know the rhythm. Wait a second. They say that it all was nothing but a coaster, coaster ride. That I was a taking. I wasn't taking a coaster ride. I took my pen. I took. I can't do it.
Hey, but you tried. That's
yes.
that is what
Right.
we want to happen. Just
It's further than
try.
most people will do it. I mean, even people that do this, I host an open mic every Thursday with I have live band come through and play beats, which for a hip hop artist is like that's like Eden. That is like the most beautiful thing. You can really jam, and it is like pulling teeth to get people that are artists that want to perform to come to this jam where it's like you have a free stage to come and
Yeah, it's all
learn and
yours.
get good and sharpen your sword and be like, you come up to me after every show I perform and say, man, I want to get where you're at. This is how you get there. We're giving you
Do
the
it.
path.
Yeah.
There's all that, just come out. It's free,
Yeah.
there's
It's so
so much
funny how
opportunity.
petrifying it
And
is, though. Like, I mean, I wasn't petrified right now, but my stomach is kind of like my heart's kind of racing a little bit because I was like, I have no idea how you string together the thoughts and the words
Yeah.
to and then make a cohesive, and which you did, and you brought in like layers, right? Like shit. That was pretty cool.
Where are you located right now?
Right now, I'm in Massachusetts.
So I
okay.
actually have two shows in that area in October if you want to come catch the show.
No, definitely. Where are you gonna be?
I'm playing
The
Cantab.
Shaskeen.
Well, that's in New Hampshire, but I'm playing I'm
That's not
playing
far from me.
I'm playing Cantab Lounge in Cambridge.
Okay, right. That's like that's 45 minutes for me.
So I'm playing there, and then I'm also playing this place called Troop in Providence.
That's where my daughter went to college. Oh yeah, no, I would definitely come. I'm definitely gonna come see you. Well, what are your dates though? Because I'm gonna be at some. I have to make an appearance somewhere in October. But
Well, if
you'll send me your dates, right?
He
yeah,
can
if
send you flyers, yeah.
yeah, I'll send you the ones that might be close, and then if you can pop
Okay,
out, you
yeah,
can
cool. I
pop
will
out.
definitely come. I'm gonna practice my freestyle in the meantime.
There you
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the oldest fucking freestyler out there.
Well, no, that's the thing is like, I mean, some of these places that we went, we were in Dayton, Ohio, and there was, I mean, one of my favorite freestyles that we saw the whole tour was this older man that got up there and was like rapping to his wife on the
Right?
couch, and it was so funny, and he was doing like different voices and sound effects. He was doing like the Michael
Yeah.
Jackson, like, he was doing all that
Yeah.
stuff, and it
Like,
was
I mean,
just so
how could you
fun.
not love like
It's
freestyle?
so fun,
It's like so fun.
and people do. And it's honestly because a lot of people in hip hop talk about how, the culture has suffered a lot since things have switched to streaming and there's not as much mainstream success with people that really care about the art form
But
itself.
they're still live, what do you call them offs? Rap
There's
offs.
live acts. There's not
Oh
that
yeah,
much
there's
of the like live battling
There's
unless
not
yeah,
it's
no battles
written.
anymore.
There's not as much of the freestyle battling, but that's where I think the culture comes back is with freestyling because we
Yeah.
live in Wisconsin, which is primarily a very conservative state. Hip hop isn't a big fandom for a lot of the populace here, but when people come in of any kind of credo, race, color,
Right.
like whatever their opinion of hip hop is, and they see freestyling. I had a woman
Because it's
from
an art. It's
Kentucky
an art
last
form.
week. She
Yes.
came up to me and was like, I've never listened to hip hop in my life, and I love this. This is so fun and entertaining, and I feel so
Yeah.
engaged in it. She's like,
But
it's
also
such a
it's like
fun thing.
the intelligence behind it. I don't think people really like respect. Like, I think that people my generation or whatever, like, don't even get it. Like, do you understand the brain power behind this shit? Like, you can't be an idiot and do this stuff. I mean, maybe
I
you
mean, a
can.
great show is a great show, and
Yeah.
I've been blessed to have been around a lot of different performers in my life of all different kind of genres and art
Yeah.
styles and disciplines, and gotten to see great performances and just learned that I don't care what the medium is. If somebody's passionate and great at what they're doing, I'm probably gonna enjoy it.
Probably the
It's
closest,
just
like in
fun.
my career, is like I did improv, right? So that's the closest to freestyling that I ever came because there are parameters in improv. Like, you never say no. You get. I mean, like, there's just a couple of rules, but otherwise anything goes. You keep the story going, whatever it is.
It's a freestyle,
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Improv's freestyle,
freestyle
yeah.
but it's just
acting.
but improv's freestyle without the rhythm and the beat. Like it's like it's a little bit
Yeah,
easier.
yeah. My before we let you get out of here, I
Yeah.
do know my daughter wanted me to ask you. She'd be mad at me if I didn't ask you, but she wanted me to ask you, do you have a
What?
favorite line? And can you say your favorite line from the movie Tremors?
Okay. Um, my favorite line. I don't know if I'm quoting it. Okay, well, I have three favorite lines, but I don't know if I'm quoting them properly. I mean, exactly. But I love when I say, "Why do you keep asking me?" That was one. Another one is, "We run like goddamn bastards." Oh, pardon my French. Okay, that's that line. And then the one about staying on the residual boulders. But before that, I say, "Hey, you guys know how to pole vault?" Those are some of my favorite ones.
Yeah, yeah. And
Classic.
do you have a story, a behind the scenes story that's hilarious that you could tell?
Um, okay. Well, I don't know if it's hilarious, but it's kind of brutal. So there's a scene in which we're all running. The monsters are figuring out where we are from the sound, and I get trapped in barbed wire. Right. So I'm trapped in barbed wire, and Kevin Bacon's character Val runs out to save me. And we've done this take over and over again. And they have this stuff called vermiculite, which is it's like a fake sand. I mean, it's a man-made, but whatever they used for dust and everything. And dust is blowing, whatever, and we're struggling. And this is shot after shot after shot, and we're trying to get me out of my pants, my cargo pants, get my boots off, and get out of the barbed wire. And Kevin's behind me. Right? Actually, there's two funny things. He's behind me, and we're doing, and we're struggling. And take two. Okay, struggle, different angle. And at one point, I'm pulling, he's pushing, I'm pulling, he's pushing. I go, bam! I headbutted him right. No joke. I mean, bang! Went back like that. And but I took it so late. I was like, oops, like, and we kept going. And the other was equally pathetic on my part. We were throwing rocks we were on those boulders, right? We're throwing rocks at the graboids, throwing rocks. I'm a horrible thrower. I'm really good at batting. I'm good at baseball, right? But I'm not a good thrower, pitcher, or whatever. Anyway, so I'm throwing these rocks, and you can see that I'm pathetic at it. I'm throwing it, and then I hit him in the head with one of the rocks. Poor Kevin. It's only because I'm pathetic. It's not intentional. I'm just bonking. Got him on the side of the head. He was a good sport, Oh my God. And people always ask about the kissing scene, like, what was like kissing Kevin Bacon? And it's like, I'd known him since I was like 24 years old. So it was, it's like, yeah, I actually said it was like kissing my brother, and I did not mean incestuously. I meant I just knew him well, right? So we've been flown back 3 months after the film finished, and because the test audiences were saying they didn't like the ending, and they're yelling, "Kiss her, kiss her!" So I had to be flown back from New York to California for a weekend just to kiss Kevin. But the kissing was so unromantic. I mean, because well, anyway, went something like this. How's Kira? The baby sleeping well? Is she still breastfeeding? I mean, like, because he just had his first child. Kira had given birth to their first child while we were shooting Tremors. And so, what was like kissing Kevin Bacon? I don't know. Like kissing cardboard?
That's a crazy fun fact though, that that scene you had to be flown back out to shoot specifically just the kiss.
Yeah. No, in fact, I'd
That's
gone
crazy.
back. I'd been asked to come back to reappear on As the World Turns. They wanted my character back for just a couple scenes. So I was shooting that week in New York, and then I flew out after shooting on the soap on that set Friday night, took the red eye to LA, drove up to Lone Pine just to kiss Kevin for like 10 hours. It was 6 months after we wrapped, it was like, whoa. Anyway.
That's like one of the best facts for Three Truths and a Lie. If you ever have to do that for an icebreaker, you can say, something like, I fought a polar bear, I flew across the country
off
to kiss
the Venezuelan, off the Andes.
Yeah, I flew across the country to kiss Kevin Bacon for 10 hours.
Right.
Like no one's gonna think that one was true.
No, they won't, will they? That's so funny. I'll remember that. Okay, Pestilence. And can do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my God.
That was crazy.
But you can do.
He can do.
That's what I'm saying.
That's great.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm sorry, but your real name's Jason, right?
Jason, yes.
Yeah, that's one I remembered. Okay. Thank you so much for having me. This has been a blast.
Yeah. We honor.
Use something from this.
Yeah, and I'm gonna send you the dates. Maybe
definitely do that. It's in Providence. You're gonna be in Providence, right?
Providence.
It's like 45 minutes for me.
Yeah, Providence
and Cambridge. Yeah, Providence is a great city. Well, so is Cambridge. I mean, but Providence is really special. I know a great karaoke bar we can go to after your show.
Yes.
All right. Well, I appreciate this. Has been the CyphaDen chat presented by CyphaDen Music, where we inspire even those higher. And remember to never stop chasing your dreams, because you will never know what you are fully capable of. I am your host, Tayamu Denku. That's my homie Pestilence. And tonight we had special guest, the one
Tayamu Finn.
the only Tayamo. No, we're not doing that. Finn Carter, the actress, has been here, and we appreciate you to the fullest. Thank you again.
Oh, no, thank you.
Thanks so much. Peace.
Peace.
All right.
Bye, you guys.
Yep.
Bye.